Don't worry about where we going. Just know that you're good with me. Baby, if you want it, you got it. I promise you're good with me. Baby, you want it, you got it.
Hey, it's Veronica Mobley, and this is Beyond Fatherhood, an exclusive interview series brought to you by me and Dear Fathers, where we're looking at what it's like to date a father.
Hey y'all, this is Beyond Fatherhood, which is a dating series about men who are single. I have to be careful not to say single father because it takes on a different connotation, although in this case, Maurice does qualify as a single father. But the Beyond Fatherhood interview series is about men who are single and who are also amazing fathers and have incredible investments and presence in their children's lives. And so today I want you guys to meet Maurice Munro.
All right, so my name is Maurice Munro, aka Mozilla. You can find me on Instagram as that. I'm a single father of 3. So my kids live with me during the school year and they go to their mothers during the summertime. I'm in the military. I'm a management analyst. So basically I do process improvement. And if we're going to make this for everybody else, if you went into Walmart, I would figure out how many workers you need to work in Walmart. Also, process improvement wise, if you walked into Walmart late at night, everybody gets mad. They're like, why are there nobody at the cashiers? However, we would help your management come up with the idea of those self kiosks where you can actually check yourself out, so we don't have to pay the workers in there. So that's pretty much what I do, but I do it for the Air Force on a larger scale. Yes. So I've been in Japan since last August, on Okinawa. It is off the coast of mainland Japan, where everybody's familiar with Tokyo and where the Olympics should have been this year. But it's just pretty much a tropical island. There's about 100 beaches here. It's very beautiful. Only thing we have to worry about is typhoons from about March to October. Lived through about 3 of those last year. But other than that, it is fun here for the most part.
It looks like you have fun there, judging by your Instagram. So is it as fun as it looks, or do you?
Yeah, it is. I would say so. Especially since it's always hot outside, so you can get off work at 4 o'clock, and you can shoot to the beach. Beaches are probably 5-10 minutes away from your house if you don't live right there at the beach. 5-10 minute drive, you can go to pretty much any beach. You can drive about an hour and a half away, go snorkeling, but you can do that 5 minutes away too as well. So we're always at the beach, just sitting down, having picnics out there. People playing music, volleyball. It's just good vibes at all times.
I'm sold. I kind of feel like I'm just going to move there.
Yeah. And karaoke is really big too if you karaoke too. Everybody does karaoke here.
I mean, I can get into it, but you said hot weather all the time, beach. I'm sold. So question, who are you as a father, and tell us about, how many children you have and how old they are and all of that.
So I have 3 children. The oldest is a girl. She's 9 years old. Her birthday is actually she's on the 24th. I'm not sure if it's next Friday or Saturday, but it's on the 24th of April.
Right. Maybe.
Then I have a 8-year-old Jakari.
Okay.
She is a handful. She's the middle child. Love her to death. She is my helper. Going back to the first one, she runs the house, like mother of the house. She's the woman of the house. And then I have a 5-year-old boy, Jacoby, named him after Kobe Bryant. And he's just like that is like my ace, my ride or die. We do everything together.
What would you say in terms of the influence that your father had with regard to romantic relationships? Like, what was the relationship like between him and your mom, from your viewpoint, and how has that impacted how you are in relationships?
So, looking back at it, and I actually talked to my mom about this a lot. I don't remember them really holding hands or showing much affection. It might be a kiss on the cheek or so, but there really wasn't much affection that I saw growing up from them. I just knew from their relationship. Now looking back at it, I can see it as maybe they stayed together just for the kids. It got to the point where they weren't each other's best friends. Okay. And it was, I think as adults and some of us, when we get married possibly too young or the kids come into the situation, I forget that you were my best friend. That's why I married you.
That's a good one.
Kids, I still should put, the kids should still have high priority, but you as my wife should come first, then the kids, because you came first. And so I got to make sure I take care of myself, take care of you, and then give the kids what's left. I think us as a society now, we forget that and we pour everything into the kids and everything. And that's when that resentment gets there. It's like what's going on here. And I think that's one of the major reasons why my marriage fell, because I think I poured a lot more into the kids first than I poured, and my ex-wife got what was left instead of vice versa. Because if it was the other way around, maybe we would still be together and then the kids would be here.
So initially you repeated what you saw in your home growing up, but now you realize that that's probably not the best way to approach it, because it's not truly sustainable and it doesn't foster that bond between husband and wife. No, that makes complete and total sense. And I think that the amazing thing is that you caught it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that you were able to identify, okay, this is what I saw growing up. I don't really remember that working so well. I repeated it, but I know better for the next time around to you know what I mean? Like switch up those priorities a little bit.
Yes.
Cool. So how would you describe your experience of today's dating scene? I'm really curious to know this from you, because you're in a completely different place globally. So how would you describe today's experience of today's dating scene as a man attempting to balance fatherhood, career, and just a social life in general?
So it is crazy out here. I took a little bit of time after my divorce. I got divorced about 3 years ago. So when I got married, we were still on MySpace. We were still on MySpace back then. So, so like that was the thing. It wasn't really like, and then Facebook sort of boomed up. But like nowadays, you meet somebody. There wasn't all this exposure of social media out there. It was like, hey, like you're there.
Yes.
You're like romantic. Nowadays, we have these apps. You have your Tinders, Bumbles, and everything all the way down to Christian Mingle. So when I first started dating, the first person I dated, like we went on a date. I thought we was together after the first date. Like I'm so serious. Like I done paid for dinner, I done paid for drinks. Like I got a good night kiss. Like
what are we doing?
This is my girlfriend now. No, got ghosted after that. Like totally wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that.
Ghosted. Tell me about the ghosting. What, like, how did it happen? Like,
we went on the first date, and then I'm like, hey, can I, like, when's the next time I'm going to see you again? And you just like, hey, she's like, hey, like, work is crazy right now. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you. And then a couple of heys, what are you doing? No reply. And then I'm like, what's going on here? So a couple more messages. And then you look back and he's like, oh man, I look crazy. She ain't gonna text back at all. Not at all. So so I bounced that off of like some of my homegirls, and they're like, yeah, you look crazy. Like, try this next time. So I got back out there, and actually one of my coworkers, she was on Tinder. So like they helped me out with creating like a profile that I got out there. And then Tinder was just a whole nother thing. Cause you have to know, some people, like you have to, like I learned like the first date I went on, someone took their pictures like this, so it's like at an angle. So people take pictures at an angle.
Angles.
You always ask for a full body. You always have to ask for a full body. You always have to ask for a full body. So on that day, I went to the place and I picked like this nice restaurant, tacos, because I'm in San Antonio, Texas. So like Mexican food, tacos and margaritas, that's a perfect idea. So I positioned myself so I can see her walk in, because this is the person that I chose. I swiped on while I matched. I'm like, hey, let's see how this works. Okay. She walks in and she's she's walking in and you can see her head. So the head looks just like how the picture was. And then the second she got around the corner, the body did not match the head how I thought it was going to be. So I sort of got catfished in a way. And so she sat down, great personality. We laughed and talked, but it wasn't about that. Yeah, just kept it casual, and that was it.
Dang it. So did you ghost her?
No, I told her, hey, like, this isn't going to work. And, like, I was very upfront about the situation.
Okay.
So for me to go out, I have to find a babysitter, and then I still have to court you and keep your attention. Meanwhile, in the process, you have all these other guys coming at you. And yes, the allure of, hey, he's a single dad, that sticks out because they're like, oh, he has his stuff together, he's responsible. That's the kind of guy that I want to be with, and he's sort of handsome. So once you get to that, once you get to that, it's a different world though, because you're used to being the apple of somebody's eye, which you could be of mine, but you're not my first priority. You're not my second priority. Third, you are probably my fourth priority, and then I still have to figure out work and still try to see you. And I know some parents, they really don't care who they bring around their kids, but I do care because I have two older girls especially. And I want them to see how a man is supposed to treat their woman. And I don't want a woman just coming in their lives and leaving, because then that's going to cause abandonment issues, and they're going to see that's how relationships work. I can come in there and leave. And so that's like dual edge. I don't want someone around them who's just going to be temporary. So I try to keep both lives separate until maybe I can see that you're trustworthy and we're serious enough for you to come around the kids, because no matter what, because I chose you, the kids are pretty much going to like you because I'm fun. You're probably going to be fun too. So they're going to have a blast with you and love on you.
So essentially what you're saying is it is hard, but you don't back down from that as a challenge, right? You try to figure it out, but you are honest in terms of where your priorities lie.
Yes. So it's a lot easier, I would say, for females that have something to bring to the table. As far as you do have your own career, you are truly independent and you take care of yourself. You're not looking for a man for validation. You're not looking for a man to wipe you up per se. You're looking for someone to share time with, be a partner with, laugh, and actually build on things. You're not looking for someone to save you. So for me, that helps out a lot, because you understand I have different priorities, and hopefully you have your priorities too, and we can meet somewhere in the middle and we can build together.
How do you usually go about meeting women? You mentioned that you had an experience on Tinder. So do you normally meet people out? Do you do it through social media? Women sliding in your DM, you sliding in other women's DM, or is it one of the dating apps or something like that?
So it's multifaceted. It's been all different kinds of.
All of the above.
All of the above, and then the kids actually being on it too. Okay. So, my kids are matchmakers, and they will try their best, and that's especially when they didn't even know I was dating. So all they saw was Dad got a babysitter. He's going out with his friends tonight. They had no idea I was dating. But I used to take them to this park, and so you see three little cute kids running around, and it's you'll see single females with their dogs, or so my son would just run up to them and try to pet their dog or pick their dog up, and I have to run over there and say, hey, I'm so sorry, my son's doing this. And then she's like, oh, that's okay. I'm like, hey, it's hard out here being a single dad. My other two girls are running over there. Oh, you're a single dad? Boom, right there. And then yeah, like, oh, you're a single dad. Oh, well, if you need help with hair or something, oh, here's my Instagram, or here's my number. And you go from there. I've used the dating apps too. There's Tinder, then there's Bumble. I like Bumble better because with Bumble, the female actually initiates. So she's sort of serious, and she's not fishing for the free drinks and free dinner, which I've seen. I have friends that do that. So they'll literally go on there. They don't feel like cooking on a Tuesday night, and they'll match with somebody, let them take them out, give them a church hug, that good old side hug, ghost, and see you later.
Maurice, it's called dating for dinner.
The dating for dinner. I didn't know they call it that.
It's totally a thing.
Some people don't believe me when I say, they're like, no, who does that? And then they say, I can pay for my own stuff. But do you? That's the thing. And I think a lot of
to pay for their own dinner.
So with that, I've learned, I have a whole different amount of respect, and I think other guys do too as well. When the check comes, if you do try to reach for your purse, that's totally different, because it's hey, I didn't need you to pay for it. Don't ask me to split it. Or if you just tell the waiter, hey, split it. that is a straight power move. And I'm like, oh, you don't need me here for that. So, hey, like I'm more inclined to actually really want to pay for your dinner because I respect that. Or maybe we do just split and you do it just how like relationships usually work. You pay for the popcorn, I might pay for the movie. You pay for a drink, I might pay for the ice cream. It just bounces back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yep, back to how would you describe who you are in a relationship? And I think that you've hit on this in different ways, but what do you have in response?
That's an interesting question. So for me, I have the tools. I believe I do have the tools to have a successful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Communication, all that, and why does it pop up? I have the tools to have a successful relationship. Communication's there. I try to, everything that I preach, I try to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are triggers. Like we've all been in certain situations from the past. And if you convey those in the very beginning, once you see those triggers, that's a red flag.
Yep.
Not even a flag. A flag is a flag. Don't matter if it's white flag, purple flag, yellow flag, green flag. A flag is a flag. You address the flag, it doesn't change. Now I have a decision to make.
Absolutely.
I think that's where, for me, that's where the conflict does arrive, because what I want from a person, if I don't receive that back, that's when I change.
Mm-hmm.
I have been guilty of ghosting people.
Mm-hmm.
Acquired trait, I guess I learned. I have been guilty of that, but then I've also had that conversation. Like once you, like if you have that respect for somebody, you usually do. You will have that conversation. It shouldn't be a text message. Shouldn't be a FaceTime. It should be maybe we go get coffee and we talk about this. Maybe we just meet or have lunch and talk about this. And honestly, you can still be friends after the fact, after you have that conversation.
So, what are your love languages? And or language if it's just one, and then what are some ways that your woman can express these to you in the way that you feel the most loved?
So my love languages, I actually took the test a couple of years ago, and then I actually just retook it maybe about another year ago.
Okay.
So I'm very high on touch, but it doesn't have to be sexual. If we're riding in the car, scratch my neck. Put your hand on my thigh, scratch a little bit. Or maybe if we're walking in the park or we're walking somewhere, maybe I'll hold your hand for a little bit, or just put your hand on my back, or maybe I'll put my hand on your back. Mm-hmm. And like we just walk. So like that touch, or just even being in the house. Like if we're watching a movie together, we shouldn't be sitting on different sides of the sofa. We should be sort of close to each other, but it does get hot. So hey, just put your leg on me, so I know you're there, so I can rub your leg. Mm-hmm. Words for affirmation, I really don't care too much for. Okay. I really don't care too much for that. Like, I'm pretty cute, so like you don't have to tell me that all the time. However, I do like acts of service. It doesn't have to be gifts. It's something like I have a busy week. So if there's anything that you can do to just make something easy for me, mm-hmm. I appreciate that a whole lot.
Right.
Just anything. Like I love gummy bears personally. So like if you was at the store and you saw the gummy bears and like I wanted to go across the street to go get them, you bring that to me. That's good. If I was working late and I didn't have lunch and you brought that to me, I appreciate that so much, because you took the time to think about something that I really needed help with and you did it for me. Or even with the girls, just like, hey, like I see you couldn't do something with their hair today. Let me slide through and do something with their hair for you. Mm-hmm. Like I appreciate that. Or better yet, just hey, you haven't gone to the gym in the last 2-3 days. Bring the kids over here. Let me watch them for an hour so you can just go do you, so I can get the best you and they can get the best you. When I was working on the way out of my divorce, that's when I started working on my body. I went from a dad bod to like nice body. So that's when I started hearing those compliments of like, hey, you're handsome and you like that. Or like, hey, you're sexy. Like that used to stroke the ego just a little bit. But then after a while, you're like, hey, like I know how I look. I'm very comfortable in my appearance. Right. And now it's what, like, is it the touch? Is it the quality time, or the words of affirmation that I'm getting? Because I know I'm going to hear those compliments from everybody. Just like you as a female, people are going to tell you all the time, hey, beautiful, good morning, or hey, beautiful, or hey, sexy. You're going to hear that a lot.
I never get that.
What are the actions? Yes. What are the actions behind that?
Right. I was saying I never get tired of hearing it.
Oh, you never get that? Okay. I'll be the first
So
one to tell you. You look very beautiful.
what'd you say?
I'll be the first one to tell you. You look very beautiful today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I can more than understand that. It's funny. My love language is also acts of service, and yeah, I don't put a ton of emphasis on words, but what a person does is supremely meaningful. So I can feel that.
Yeah, and the kicker is you actually got to find out what your partner's love language is too. Because just because I like touch, don't mean you necessarily like touch. So if I don't understand what you are when I'm trying to show my love and affection to you, it might not be received at all.
So what are your deal breakers? I love this question. What are your deal breakers? And then I need a horror story to back up at least one of those deal breakers.
Bad hygiene.
Okay.
Bad hygiene. Overall, just total body. Total body bad hygiene. That's a deal breaker. Not being understanding of the kids, of me having kids.
Okay.
Like, that's a deal breaker too. Trying to go out on a couple of days before and like, hey, I gotta find a babysitter. Don't talk to me. I should come first. Pretty much, just okay. Right there. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a princess and I'm a queen. I get what I want. Like, if you can't get here right now, I'll find someone else to come out tonight. Okay.
Okay.
That not being a nurturer or loving to the kids. Like, you do have to accept my kids. And shout out to all step parents out there. That is a hard deal to come into a situation where you take on someone else's kids that you did not raise and trying to be a good influence to them and also impart your own personal ideologies on a situation where, hey, maybe that mother lets them get everything, or maybe that father lets them get everything, so they're spoiled, or vice versa. They're very disciplined and you're a very fun person and really have fun with them, or you play sports and they don't play sports. So now you have this kid where I got to figure out how to make robots with you because you don't want to shoot a basketball. So, like, you got to be able to adapt and love on the kids.
Yeah, and establish your own relationship with them.
Yes. The person that you choose, like basketball reference, should be me as the man, probably MVP, LeBron James. I pass the ball, I do everything, I'm on the court. But you as my woman, as the person I chose, I need you to be the defensive player of the year. When people come at you, I need you to shut that down. Shut that down. And same for me, I'm going to shut it down too, but I need you to shut it down. And that's not necessarily being hostile all the time. Maybe it's just saying, hey, thank you, or you keep the conversation going to the point where, like, hey, I do have a boyfriend. Boom. That's not going to stop everybody. It's going to stop about 80%. The other 20% still going to try, but then that's where you leave it in your court.
So is it fair to say that another deal breaker would be attention seeking?
Yes, you can see that a lot, yes. But if done in the right way, it's okay. Like, my attention should be enough. Maybe you are a social media influencer, and I have to be understanding of what you have to do to get products. But if you're just willy-nilly just doing different things just for the attention and there's no goal behind what you're doing, if you're just doing it just for people, like for the likes, that's totally different than saying, hey, I'm doing this so I can get this, so I can be seen, possibly be a model, or maybe there's products that I want to be an ambassador for. That is totally different than this, me just having my shirt off for no reason, or you just having everything out for no reason.
Right, that makes sense. So lying, for sure, deal breaker. Inability to communicate, unwillingness to not only accept, but I would say lovingly embrace your children and your role in their lives. What else?
You gotta have goals.
Okay.
You gotta have goals. And not just us goals, you gotta have something that you're building for maybe a year, 3 years from now. Like, I need you to get better because that's what I'm trying to do. And I don't want it to be a situation where every time you see my name pop up somewhere, I'm doing something good and I have this amazing story about how this opportunity came along. how it came along and you have nothing that you're doing to come back. So you might feel resentful that I have things going on and you're not sharing in that experience with me, or you don't have. But horror story, one of my first Tinder dates, I brought a friend along. How I explain this? So we went out to a club and I met the girl. I had previously went on a date with the girl from Tinder. Okay. I met her out in the club again. Like I met her out at another club, and my friend was with her. And we leave, and we go in the car. I don't smoke. I'm in the military. I can't smoke. So like they light up and smoke, and all this stuff starts happening. So we get out the car. And we're like, hey, like we're gonna go home. Okay, cool. So, but I text her like, hey, I'll come over tomorrow to hang out or whatever. So I come over during the daytime and come in the house and sit down and we're watching TV. The house is a mess. The house is really dirty. So it goes to hygiene. The house is dirty. There's a text on her phone, knock at the door. Her friend comes in. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Friend comes in. Her friend actually starts smoking. I'm in the military. I can't be around this stuff. Then maybe about 10 minutes later, I'm trying to figure out a way how to get out of here. 10 minutes later, another knock on the door. All I see is this big pit bull, this big black pit bull walking, like strolling in. And so, fun fact about me, I'm scared of dogs.
Oh my God.
I am terrified of dogs. I'm terrified as it is.
Did you go poopy on yourself? What?
I'm sitting on the couch. The dog's coming in. The dog looks at me, and I swear he can sense I'm scared. Then the dog is on one of those big, thick gel chains, right? On a thick gel chains. And the guy walks in. All I see is a big 6'4", 260-pound guy walk in with the dog, and he lets the dog go. I'm sitting there on the couch. The dog done jumped on me, and I'm trying to hold it together. While this is going on, that's going on. I'm in the dirty house. I can't get out. I can't figure out how to get out the house because I'm not trying to be mean, or I'm just like, what is going on here? Because I'm not scared. You know, I'm Mr. Gold's Gym. Like I'm not going to do all this. So
what?
Yeah. So I almost have a panic attack. So that I end up getting out the house. But that was one of the first times I realized maybe I'm not looking at the right people. And I'm putting myself in weird situations.
Okay. So I'm going to say another deal breaker is dog owner.
Yeah.
How can people follow you and get in touch with you after this? Because I'm sure everyone is going to be running to your social after this. And how open are you to ladies sliding in your DM?
That's okay. Like I'm respectful. I'll answer any kind of questions. You can find me at Maurice Munro. Like you can look in the search bar, type in Maurice Munro. There's other catfish profiles, so just make sure there's a bunch. I don't understand why they do this, but you can search in Maurice Munro. That's MAURICE space Munro MONROE, and I'm the name Mozilla MO_Z1LLA.
Got it.
And so you can find me there. Click on it, you can see self-love tips, you'll see fitness, you'll see me as my journey as a parent. I try to highlight that and just show you that as a single parent, you can still travel, you can still go out at night, you can have fun with your friends, it's okay, because you're still going to do the time with the kids. And like you got to take time out for yourself.
Yeah, I imagine you will definitely gain some followers from this. I imagine some ladies will also be sliding in the DM. But thank you for this. Thank you for taking time. I'm super jealous. I keep being distracted by your window. Is it still light outside?
Oh no, no, it is dark now. It is 11:32 p.m.
Okay, I was like, listen, I'm about to move there tomorrow.
A full day in the future, but it usually gets sunny about 5 o'clock out here. So
I won't take another moment of your time. Go ahead and get your workout on. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. And consider me your friend for life. I definitely feel like we are like kindred spirits. You definitely said a lot of things that resonate with who I am and how I approach things in life. And so, yeah, I am your fan for sure.
In this interview series, we have the honor of meeting and interviewing some amazing fathers who've opened up to us about what their dating lives are like. We hope you enjoy.
Tell me what you want, I can provide it. You don't remember the last time that you've been excited. Allow me to change your mind, yeah. Girl, hop off in this whip, cause we about to take a ride. Don't worry about where we going, just know that you